This week was supposed to be the end, the so-called Armageddon for the CS2 market, but instead of a total collapse, we got a war. Its size rivals the GTA 5 green versus purple alien war of 2020, except now it's buyers versus sellers, each sending new memes, spamming hold the line, and creating total chaos while Valve just sits back and watches the fireworks. And like the saying goes, in a gold rush, sell shovels. That's exactly what Valve and third-party sites did. Welcome to this week's market report. Last week I said trade reversal would be a wild card, and it really was. Traders pushed it to the absolute limit, and many of the worst trades got reversed this week, as long as they weren't done through Steam. We're starting to see reports of buyers getting banned for reversing their trades through the mass reporting feature, but this likely represents a minority of sellers. So overall the market cap is still down, but we're crawling our way back to that $5 billion mark very quickly. It seems that the flood of new gold supply wasn't nearly enough to tip the market into a death spiral. Prices have wobbled for sure, but they haven't cratered. The question remains, is this just a dead cat bounce, or is this the start of a new baseline? There is speculation that the market is once again being manipulated at these prices, however concrete proof has not been provided. Overall, the red supply is either shrinking or hidden in storage units, because it's astonishing that over the course of 10 years, every single red that's been unboxed out of hundreds of millions of cases has been either scooped up and stored away or traded up in the past week, to the point where $50 is the new minimum price to pay for a red. As trade-ups are getting more and more expensive, the supply of new golds being crafted is declining as well. But these red trade-ups are still positive EV across the market. I truly expected that the flood of new unlocked knives this week would outpace demand, but it seems that the CS2 market absorbed all this excess supply. It's important to note that knives and gloves are still 50% below their peak price from 2 weeks ago, but most of the market is starting to heal and recover back to their previous prices. So even though I was ready to scoop up some discounted skins this past week and get my Christmas list ready, it didn't really happen. Too many people have faith in Valve and treat this like a legit market, and the rest of them are just bag holders for the long run. Why sell at a 50% loss when the market is still recovering? Here's where things get really spicy, because while we were all fighting the good fight on X or Reddit, some quietly made a fortune. No, it wasn't you or I. Let's take a look at the top 10 markets. Skinport, Buff, UPenn, CS Float. As an extrapolation, total dollar sales this past week hit around 90 million. Applying average fees of 2 to 15%, that's millions in fees pocketed just this week. So in short, traders lost time and sanity, but marketplaces got paid. They truly are the shovel sellers in this gold rush. This update has accomplished two major things. It protected them from future gambler regulations by no longer locking golds behind just luck-based unboxings, and they updated their terminology from rarity to quality. They also quietly funneled people back to the Steam market, since that's the only market where you cannot trade reverse, and they got their nice 15% cut. It's actually genius. If you want to play it safe and not get trade reversed, then you have to pay Valve. Everyone else, you'll risk your balance getting frozen, trade reversals, mass reporting. It's not to say that they've killed third-party trading, but they have made it a lot less lucrative. The wildest part of all these price movements this past week is just how fractured everything is. Prices haven't stabilized across regions, and the midpoint between Western and Chinese markets keeps shifting. There's massive arbitrage opportunities out there for anyone who wants to exploit it, and in any market, this cannot continue for long because eventually people buying from Buff will begin reselling on CS Float. Coming back to this idea of trade reversals, there's been a lot of talk in the community about a cross-platform item tracking system, meaning if you trade reverse on CS Float, you'll get banned on CS Float and other third-party market websites. If this is actually implemented, I think it'll cause more harm than good. Just imagine you do get API scammed, your trades do need to be reversed, and then you get banned on every single platform. That's just a nightmare and an unfair punishment. Reversals are never meant to be used for normal times or for sellers' remorse on missing out on profits. It exists for emergencies. It's almost a necessary evil in that regard. But I think enforcing any type of blanket punishment regarding trade reversals is not the right answer either. Let's talk about the long game. We have more evidence this week of Valve clearly shifting its strategy. They quietly removed rarity from their item menus and replaced it with quality. And this is not just a random update. This is again another pivot towards a crafting-based economy. They're setting up a system closer to Path of Exile 2 rather than old school Gamba crates. So no, this isn't the death of the CS2 market. If anything, it's the foundation of a new one, where crafting becomes the loop rather than opening cases. It seems to be regulation proof, addictive beyond belief. I mean, just think about how many posts or videos have you watched this week of red to gold trade ups, and it might even be more profitable for Valve in the long term. A genius move by Valve. So yeah, Armageddon didn't come. The market is still bruised but alive. The reds are scarce, the golds are expensive, and I'm still coping that the market crash is coming. Third-party sites made bank this week, and Valve, they're playing the usual 4D chess in the background. Was this the bottom? Maybe. Either way, this week proved one thing. In the new CS2 economy, very few people will really lose or win. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.